Hello, everyone, and welcome to Savage Bowling TV's presentation of the 2024 Indiana Scratch Classic from Mike Aulby's Arrowhead Bowl in Lafayette, Indiana. Scott Gilmore, the Hall of Famer Mike Aulby, and Chad Lester here in the broadcast booth. And qualifying has concluded, and we're now down to the eliminator-style match play format here that's made the Scratch Classic extremely popular. And we say that because record year this year for entries, 202 entries. This weekend so far, we're down to our final 40 guys to compete for that championship trophy, the money, and a chance to bowl the USBC Masters as well. And again, Mike Aulby here in the broadcast booth with me. And Mike, welcome back to your humble abode here.
Yeah, it seems like I was just here. I don't know.
You were probably in meetings, right?
Yeah.
Well, we love coming back here. You guys take care of us so much here. And for Savage Bowling TV, we're perched up here behind lanes 4, 5, and 6. Great view here. And, again, this event has delivered some of the most exciting and dramatic finishes we've ever had here on Savage Bowling TV. And it's shaping up to do that once again. Scores much higher than normal, but that's okay. These guys are getting better. 238 over was your overall squad leader in Ryan Burton, but John Long was the high qualifier in our 930 this morning squad at 905. So you're seeing a lot of guys shooting big games. I'm sure we're going to see more of that here as we proceed.
I think what I noticed most was, scores are a little higher, of course, but the facts that there's 4-game sets are very consistent from pair to pair. So, where before we've seen them, they might have shot a big 250 to 270 game to really jump in there, but now it seems like consistency seems to be there as well, and so I think it's going to be a tough one to get to the end of this one with the championship. So a lot of great players out there. We don't have some of the past champions we've had before, but that just leaves some space for some new champion.
Yeah, we're going to see some new faces maybe here in our championship 4. And you speak about past champions not here. Well, Matt Sanders, the defending champion, unable to attend this year. E.J. Tackett, unable to attend. And Gene Perez not here. So some names that we've been accustomed to seeing in the championships aren't here. So, but a familiar face here, a 2022 champion and a finalist in last year's championship 4. Ryan Burton, your overall number 1 seed here at plus 238 for his qualifying squad. But really, seeding means nothing. You're lumped against everyone in your squad, and we eliminate close to half the field. So after 2 games, so it's going to be really dramatic and exciting to see what happens here. Your squad leaders, Bailey Maverick was your 1 o'clock squad leader at plus 161. Ryan Burton, your 5 o'clock squad leader at plus 238. And John Long Jr., your 9:30 a.m. squad leader at plus 105. Those get a bye, and those buys are huge.
Yeah, you want to get settled in, but you don't want to take that extra game because it just, like you said, 1 game you're you're in trouble if you lose one. So, it's a good benefit if you're able to get that bye. It's huge.
Yeah, and right now we're going to – bowlers are using, I believe, 21 through 38, I think, are the lanes we're being used. We have our camera set here on 21 and 22. And Joseph Litton, Braden Alfrey, someone you're familiar with.
Yes, Braden's an employee here at the mechanic in the back and a very good player.
Yeah,
very good player.
I believe Cameron Bollinger is on this pair. He's a past Final 4 competitor here. First shot, trip 4 right out of the gate for Braden.
He thought it was going to be a little high, just a touch, threw it great, but, hey, you'll take that when you drive that 4 out of there.
Well, before we get too far along in this broadcast, Chad and I want to give our sincere thanks to you and Tammy for hooking us up with some Ella Pauline cookies here this morning. We haven't had any yet, but we just finished lunch, and, of course, Chad, he doesn't have to say much today, so he's not going to hesitate. But we were told by a reliable source that the
Aaron McCormick.
Yeah, we were told that the chocolate chip toffee cookies are the way to go.
We got a variety here. We have brown butter sourdough chocolate chip cookie, Loaded brown butter sourdough chocolate chip cookie. What's loaded?
It's got everything,
sugar.
walnuts. It's got walnuts. It's got everything she adds to them. So, and by the way, it's not me. It's my wife. I just happen to bring them here, so I know nothing about the kitchen. Trust me.
And then the star of the show is what we're being told: brown butter sourdough toffee chip cookie.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah.
Boy, these are nicely packed. Thank you.
They are.
Yeah, Tammy does a really good job of presentation and the actual product as well. So, yep.
Yeah. We
all for you.
We shared the link in our 9:30 a.m. squad for those that wanted to go to the Facebook page and learn more. And
let me know when you want to break these open, or I can do it.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure.
Well, I told my wife, Chad only eats one.
Well, I'm gonna have
which usually correlates into 3.
It's gonna have to be at least 3 now because there's.
That's why I told her just.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you really helped him out a lot, Mike.
Thank you.
He's so choked up about it, he can hardly speak right now.
It's a long way off this pedestal
tears
here, so be careful.
Yeah, we're going to mute him so we don't have to listen to him chomp away. But Tim Logan also on 21 and 22. And the reason why the scoring looks crooked is we're off at an angle a little bit here. Our camera's right behind 20 and 21. So we're making sure that we get everything set up as Joseph Linton goes right through the face for a big 4.
Yeah, that ball broke really sharp off the back end of the pattern there and paid the penalty there, big 4. It looked pretty good going down the lane, but, boy, it just really broke loose. He gets a lot on it there.
Yeah, he shot 268 his last game to matter of fact, he started out 158, 189, and he goes 111 over his last 2 games to get into the cut. So,
that says a lot. I mean, it's tough to have those first 2 games like that and still have your head in it to continue to find something and then find it and then just run with it. So great job getting himself in there. It's quiet because Chad's eating.
We're all going to stare at him, right?
Yeah, I think we already were.
Oh, yeah, he's going to be in heaven over there. All right. We'll let him eat away. And
there's a big break. Rolling that 3 out.
Another talented player just off to your right, Jacob Balser from Fort Wayne. And the two-handers are out in full force, Mike. And
yeah, there's some serious and the single, and obviously Tim Logan there. The one-handers they're getting their rate up there pretty well.
And for some of these younger players, that's what the game is about, is creating
rev rate.
area.
Yeah, it is. And to do that, you need the rev rate. And it seems like the more you got may become uncontrollable for some, but it's the name of the game.
Well, we appreciate you coming by here today and hanging out with us. I know you had to give up your Colts tickets to.
Well, that could be good or bad, as you know, in the season.
Well, my teams are no good, so Purdue football is atrocious, and my Dallas Cowboys, not looking very good. And now Dak Prescott's done for the year, so it's about to get worse. So
yeah, we're at that time in the season where it's not a lot of fun for some, right?
Yeah, exactly. Well, we do want to thank our sponsors here that have made this telecast possible. The Indiana Scratch Classic brought to you by Brunswick. For the latest releases and product information, like them on Facebook at Brunswick Bowling or go to brunswickbowling.com. Mike Aulby's Arrowhead Bowl. Bowling, games, billiards, birthday parties, corporate events, and more. What are you waiting for? Arrowheadbowl.com. And A1 Automotive. Keep your vehicle running like new. A1CarDoctors.com. We'll also be talking more about some upcoming releases for some of the brands under Brunswick, and they have some new balls coming out November 21st. Excited to get some of that information to you, and I know a lot of the bowlers, as a lot of these guys are all they're kind of either sponsored by or they're involved with a specific brand, and we're all excited about some of these upcoming releases for Hammer, Ebonite, Deviate, Columbia 300, and Track, and we'll get you some of that information here a little bit later on in our broadcast. So Again, also want to thank Lane Talk for providing scoring here for all of our games here as we progress through match play. And Mike, we're glad your center is hooked up with Lane Talk as well.
Yeah, we've enjoyed Lane Talk since it first came out, and have been a supporter of that. And yeah, we really enjoy that program. You know, I think if you see this pair and you see the scoring, you know, that's kind of what we've seen on a lot of pairs. You got a couple guys lined up and a couple that aren't, you know, and it's when you can have that consistency when you get to the next pair and hopefully get something that you know what's going to work and make your spares too. I mean, even though they're throwing strikes, you can leave some big designs and splits.
Well, and Braden Alfrey, he made his spot in the match play finals on the 1 o'clock squad yesterday, going plus 96, 210, 218, 212, 256. So
yeah, good solid block.
Anytime when your low game is 210, you're in good shape.
Yeah, no, I mean, it means you're lined up, and obviously he got really lined up that last game, which was a big one for him.
Big spare here for Joseph Linton. Went big 4, and then he single pin missed, which you just can't afford to do, and then he runs that one down. And you can't give a ton of pins away in this first game. 2-game total pins. Top 18 scores. So we're going to go from essentially there's 37 guys. We're going to go down to 18. So half the field is going to be going away. So
now, are they changing pairs after this game, or they stay on the same one?
Switch? Yeah, they'll move. Yeah.
So that's going to make it really difficult because you got to have a little eye on what the pair next to you that you're moving to is going to be doing to hopefully so you don't start out with a couple of opens.
I'm guessing based on what Jeff normally does. I don't know. I didn't hear his announcements at the beginning, but they all have their lane assignments on their scoring sheet. I'm guessing that they're going to be skipping 3 or 4 pair at least.
To get them across the house.
Yeah, I'm going to guess these guys are going to skip 4 pair at least. So they're going to go from 21-22 and might end up on 29-30 or 31-32. So good spare there from Tim. Anytime you can string a few strikes and you leave that single pin, you want to make it. Just don't want to give any of those doubles away.
Yeah, don't kill the momentum, no.
And, of course, these are freshly oiled, so they ran these right after the qualifying squad was done, and we know what happens there, too. They can get a little tougher anytime you place that oil pattern on top of one another as many times as they do here, and they can get a little trickier. But scoring pace, pretty high. 210 it took to make it this morning, and yesterday it was 215. So a little over 215. I like the scoring pace. I like to watch guys strike, but it's not just throw it wherever you want strike. You have to be very solid at the line and your speed and your placement. It's Tim right there. You just miss it a little bit right and you leave the rail.
Yeah, and he started out 3 in a row and a spare. So it can happen because there is some hang out there and there is some hook early in the middle if you're not careful. And it's really whoever's bowling the best here.
I want to give a shout out to Sean Doby. T, thanks for watching. Yeah. T and I are both Cowboys fans, and we've been singing the blues here for a few weeks.
I take it they're not the early game today.
I'm surprised if they're on any. Of course, they're the chances you're going to watch them on TV here anymore are pretty much slim and none.
It's easy to get flexed out of those games anymore.
When you're 3-6, nobody cares anymore.
No, yeah.
Cameron Bowling
except for Jerry.
Yeah, absolutely. He's making money. Well, poor Cameron, he can't get this left lane figured out.
No, and he looks really solid at the line. He looks good. It's just, man, the ball is just, it's just triple timing on the back end. Yeah, it's tough when every time you go through the middle, you leave, basically 2 on each direction.
Good cover.
Great shot.
Boy, he needed that.
And that's a great shot, showing that, stay in there mentally and keep fighting and get all the pins you can get. like he said, there's another game after this, another half a game and a full game. So
Usually in this round, it's going to take probably somewhere around 410 to 416, somewhere around there to advance. That would be my guess. But the scoring pace has been 210, so will it take 420? We'll know more after the first game is done and we get our scores. And then Braden goes right through the face two. You get a little soft, Mike.
Yep.
And that's what happens.
And, except for this group, this squad, these are obviously the bowlers who were the most lined up. So you would think it's going to be a little higher, only because, this isn't the group that struggled. This is the group that got here, and they were bowling well.
Yeah, and Joseph Litton, right after Braden's split, goes right through the face, leaving the 4-6-7. Almost impossible to make. You got to bounce something out. And Dakota Solanka there to your right of your screen with the 3 or 7 count spare, and you could just see it for him. He thought he missed it. Almost looked like he threw like 4 or 5 in a row, but nope, that's just a spare. That's just how you just don't want to give any pins away. A lot of these guys are used to bowling single game match play games, but you're thinking, oh, it'd be a little more relaxed. It's 2 games, but
there's a lot of pressure still there. Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's hard not to get your eyes to wonder and watch those scoreboards.
Well, and that's the difference, too, is you're not bowling someone. You're bowling the guys on your pair, yes, but you have so much you don't know of what's going on.
It's truly a situation of get all you can get, and then let that be your, worry about it after it's done, because you just need to get all you can get.
Well, Cameron strikes on the right lane, and he's perfect on lane 22. He's yet to strike on lane 21. Tim coming in light.
That's one he's kind of playing playing inside, but he wants to be outside down the lane, but not early. He wants to be able to use that back end to his advantage if he can. That was a good shot by Tim Logan.
And there's no shortage of rev rate in Tim's game.
No, he throws it well, very well. It seemed like there was a lot of, watching the squad this morning, looked like an awful lot of urethane out there.
Yeah,
then all bets are off because where it's going to end up.
Well, and so much of it, as a bowler, you don't care what you do to your own pair that you start on, because you're not going to be on it again. It's the guys that are coming after you that might not like what you did before, right?
Yeah.
So almost pocket 710 for Jacob over there on lane 23. Right now, you're watching lanes 21, 22. You'll see 23, 24. Unfortunately, we don't have a camera any farther down than that. We're way down, sitting behind lanes 4 and 5. So they use the extreme high end of the house for this first round. They'll start migrating their way back here to the left, and we'll have a couple of cameras on pairs for the next round. We thank you for watching here on Savage Bowling TV. We're going to try to get you some results, and then Cameron washes out. Boy, he just can't get anything working on lane 21.
No, and it looked like he got to the part of the lane that would probably help him out. And boy, and it didn't wrinkle him. And after the big splits the last couple times, and I'd be shaking my head too, because it certainly didn't react the way I thought it would.
Well, and it's probably a little bit of an overcorrection. The last 2 shots on that lane went high. You kind of overcorrect a little bit because you're telling yourself, don't miss in. And then he leaks it out a little too far.
And then the 2-game match, you've got to make moves quicker than you would normally. I mean, it's a short window that you've got to figure them out.
Well, and he's staring right now at about a 160 pace, 170 pace. He is going to have to find something here pretty quick on that left lane.
Because with the scoring pace, there are guys who are able to hit the pocket and throw some strikes. So this isn't one of the, like we had the last tournament we were at. It didn't have, it's a much lower pace, so you can have some opens and that. But when you start opening when they're striking, then it becomes, you get farther and farther behind. And only 2 games to do it.
Well, and right now, if you're Joseph Litton and Cameron Bollinger, you feel like every time you miss, you're paying full penalty.
Yeah. Whether you miss light or high.
Right. All right, round number 1 here of eliminator-style match play at the Indiana Scratch Classic here from Mike Aulby's Arrowhead Bowl in Lafayette, Indiana. Good crowd down watching the players in action, and hopefully after game 1 we'll get you updated on all the scores from the entire squad. And obviously these guys will move quite a few pairs, so we'll see some fresh faces here in game number 2, and as Dakota Solanka right there with a nice strike on 23. And a spare for Joseph Litton, and he needs more than spares right now. He's got 3 opens in the game so far. And he's looking at maybe, if he's lucky, 179 striking out, but that might be a tall task for him when you only have 1 strike.
I'm sure he'd take it right now and not throw those next shots.
Absolutely. Well, big announcements here for you, Mike, at the bowling center. After this tournament's done, you got a big operation going on.
Yeah, we'll be over the next couple of weeks. We'll be taking the bowlers area tile out and the carpeting throughout the center, and replacing both of those. And then somewhere in December, when the equipment comes in from Brunswick, we'll be replacing all the tabletops and seats, and keeping the frames, but replacing everything else on the seating throughout the center. So a couple of big items for us, and hopefully by the first year we'll have all those wrapped up, and then look at what we're going to do in 2025. So, yeah, so far so good. We're excited about it.
Well, and as you know, it's always nice to be able to upgrade, and you get a lot of people in and out of here, and
it'll be a good change
freshens
for us.
up the place.
Yeah,
right?
it's time. It's time to do that, and we've been busy with it, and but we're really excited about it.
Braden.
Yeah, Braden's really struggling now after coming out, man, do some great shots. He doesn't seem to be that far off, but boy, the splits we've seen on this pair have been unbelievable. And he's not the only one having that difficulty.
Yeah, you look at some of the scoring just off to your right, and you don't see a lot of strikes on those 2 bowlers on 23 and 4 either. And now Braden's staring at 160. But, it's not hard to, come back maybe the next game and get on a good pair, and you're throwing it well, and you shoot 240, and you sneak in somehow. So.
And that's why they're down on the end, so they really probably haven't seen a whole lot of what scoring looks like. And, boy, you don't want to get faked out on that and see a couple pairs doing well, and then you think, oh, gosh, I've got to change. And that's why it's better off to keep your head down and just keep trying to figure it out and do your best.
All right, if you would like to participate in the scratch events here for the Indiana State USBC, you can go to indianastateusbc.org. Go to the tournament page, and you'll find all of the information for all the tournaments that the Indiana State USBC hosts. Also, besides scratch events, you also have the Indiana State Open Championships, the Indiana State Youth Championships, as long as the Senior Championships, too, as well, and the Women's. So, tons of events. The bowling calendar just getting started here in the state of Indiana. They have all of that information. You can even enter, pay online for some of these. It's so easy. Just go to indianastateusbc.org to find out all the information for you to participate in one of these events, and we hope you do. So,
Tim Logan making it look easy out there, doubling up. Shooting in the 220s now. He's got 240s left in the 10th.
Well, you would take a 220 start in a heartbeat.
Man.
However, anything above that to me is gravy. And I'm sure Tim would like to put a little gravy on his
Yeah, because you never know what the next pair leaves for you.
I always felt like get all you can.
Yeah, most definitely.
Get all you can at that point. Well,
Pretty shot.
There's
double.
A double. If Joseph can just scratch out a 179, he's shown in his qualifying that he can throw some big games. He finished with 268 in his qualifying squad, 240, 260. So he can shoot a big number if he gets lined up and finds that right pair. And you know what it is, Mike, through your career. When you got on a good pair, you had to score on it. And that's what these guys will do if they come across
You
that.
got to take advantage of that, yep.
And Michael Hanna watching on with us. We appreciate it, Michael. And again, we commend you for all that you do here locally for our bowlers, and obviously what you've done for BVL here in the Tippecanoe County area. And obviously a great job with the Baker Trios and all the money that's been raised to go to our local veterans. Wonderful work.
Yeah, Mike's done a great job of picking that program up and moving it forward, and it's going to benefit a lot of veterans, and we appreciate having Mike around here at Arrowhead. So he does a great job, and if he gets some time, I haven't been able to chance to get to my lawn yet, and if we can, I see he's taking a break from mowing, so I thought, well, the sun came out, we could, so.
I'm done for the season.
What?
Yeah, I mowed my last time. It's nice and short, and my mower's getting service for the year.
Does the HOA know that?
Well, I mean, it's not tall. I mowed it short. The irrigation is shut off, and I'm oh, what back doors, Braden Alfrey, and he's thinking that for a 163, and he's thinking now that goes
for count. Yeah.
If I needed that to shoot to something for my fill, I'd never get that kind of break. But a pin came from out in the back and took the 7, and the 7 took out the 4. Oh, Tim with a great shot.
Yeah, he is absolutely making him look dialed in there. But I'll tell you, great shots. His ball doesn't seem to be breaking loose. It seems to be going right to that spot and just kind of holding pocket with it. And it's still pretty sharp on the back end, but he seems to have a pretty good angle.
Oh, Cameron with the strike. Hey, he's still got 190 out there,
yeah,
Mike.
That's a big finish if he can pull that one off, I'll tell you.
Even right now, that puts him in the 180s with a good count. Yeah. And it's
big. Yep.
Yeah. Big shot here for him. Because, you're thinking you have, there's 37 guys in this squad, right, or in this round. 18, he's got to beat 19 people. If he can strike here, he's beaten 3 on his pair, right?
Right.
So, or 2, I mean, at least. So, oh, great
Beautiful
shot. Well, that's the lane he's been hot on. So I'm sure he was excited to finish on lane 22, but he finally got that first strike on lane 21 in the 9th.
Those are the finishes that a lot of people don't realize and understand, and just looking at a score sheet and seeing 190 something, and those are the ones that get you there.
Yeah.
Just the 9th and 10th right there gives them a good opportunity and some momentum going into the next pair.
All right. Can he finish with 194? That's left. Yep. Brooklyn.
Perfectly left.
And he said, you know what? I deserve that.
Yeah, I don't know if he changed anything there, but other than, his target he missed, but I didn't know if he changed balls or anything like that. But it definitely wasn't as clean as the other releases he had. But, hey, 10 in the pit.
Absolutely. Yeah, looks like Billy Hibbard's making his way down to 21 and 22. So we know one of the 4 that will be participating here. But again, as you just saw the shot on 23, you miss a little right, the ball doesn't come back. Much more deeper angles in this year from what I've seen in the past. Guys, to start, Mike, we're already in at 25 to start a round out. And, it's okay when you only have 1 or 2 games, right?
Yeah.
Boy, when you start adding a 6 or 7 game qualifier, boy, there's not a whole lot of room left to go when you're in that deep to start for some of these guys.
Yeah, it makes it more and more difficult, to hit the pocket, but then you've got a totally different angle when it comes into the pocket. So then you got to worry about what you're going to be leaving in spare situations.
All right, Jacob Balser here with 3 in a row here going into the 10th frame. A big shot for him. Comes in, crosses over, and takes out the 6. That's a 4-bagger.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That looks like that's going to put him maybe somewhere around in the 230s or 40s. The one open there in the second frame. No, another Brooklyn strike there. You know, in some of these, you know, you look at that and you're like, wow, they must be that hard. But you got to have you got to have some breaks.
Yes.
You're just not going to throw it pure every time.
And you know, if you throw the ball physically well, there's a look. It doesn't help you get away if you don't throw it good physically, because then you got the ball breaking loose early, not picking up a roll quick enough. You missed a head pin. So, yeah, if you're physically sharp, yeah, you're gonna see a decent look. But boy, you start throwing the ball a little off, and then you're gonna see it on the other end of the lane.
Well, and a 10 pin there for Jacob. Still,
it's a good shot.
He's going to be probably fine with where he's at after
2-10.
game 1. He's going to be in the teens. So he could have got, it looks like maybe 228 if he would have struck out. I'm guessing that 210, 215 would be a really good start. In the past, you don't really see it more than 420. You're talking 18 guys. So it's hard to imagine the cut being more than 420, 425 for 2 games in this first round. All right, scoring is done here on our camera. And while we wait for the Game 2 competitors to hit 21 and 22, we also want to thank our sponsors. Pinhead's Entertainment Center. They have it all. Bowling, games, birthday parties, corporate events, and private suites. Go to bowlatpinheads.com. Tim Max, Victory Lane Pro Shops. Don't settle for anything less than victory. Locations inside Royal Pen Woodland, Western, and Expo in Indianapolis. And Championship Lanes. Enjoy bowling, games, and great food at the premier Family Fun Time Center in Anderson. No matter the occasion, an outing at Championship Lanes is sure to be fun. Fans, we also talked about upcoming releases for the Brands of Brunswick. And want to talk about the Hammer releases coming out November 21st. These were just announced just a few days ago. We have the Hammer Effect Tour. We return to the tour covers using Tour V3 Solid, helping the Effect Tour combat medium conditions and creating a predictable, smooth, and continuous ball motion. And also the Anger. The Anger's length and skip flip motion are unmatched in the Hammer's lineup. We started with a modified version of the infamous core and dynamic core with a high RG and designed for length. Adding the HK22 with CT reactive flip additives make this the most responsive hammer ball on medium to lighter conditions. For more information on these 2 upcoming Hammer releases, go to hammerbowling.com. There's your look at your Hammer Anger in the lower right left-hand corner. And I know a lot of guys that are on the Hammer staff really excited to get the Effect Tour in their hands. A couple of the most popular balls in the Hammer lineup were the Obsession Tour and the Envy Tour, and this is going to probably be one of the more aggressive but even rolling tours that the Hammer company has come out with. So a lot of excitement around that ball here. So, all right, 21-22, we got Ryan Slosser, Dallas Brawley, Nick Squires, and Mark Pruitt here. And thought we had Billy Hibbert, but he's on 23 and 24. Dallas starts out with an open. And now your first look here at Nick Squires. Young man from Anderson, 2-hander. Doesn't lack any ball speed. He can get it down the lane in a hurry. Of course, our gentleman with the fortunate to have the buys. They're getting warmed up here, and that is Ryan Burton and Bailey Maverick. So John Long, the squad leader in this morning, does not get the bye. It was only for the Saturday squad. So a good shot there by Mark Pruitt. Leaves the 10-pin. Of course, Purdue players fared very well yesterday. Well, we're looking at scrolling results here in front of us. The leader after the first game, 248. We don't know who that is. But like I said, the cut score right now, 18th place, even.
Wow.
Dead even. So Cameron Bollinger, who came back to strike out in the 9th and 10th frame, he's only 6 pins out.
Just outside it.
Yeah, John Long does get I thought he got a bye. He's coming over to get warmed up too as well, the left-hander. Great shot there.
Very nice, yep.
Come back from the open frame and see where Dallas qualified with a score of 850. And this morning, he went 232, 187, 256, and then 175. And some really close scores here. Jeff Harris was the number in the morning squad at plus 42, and 4 guys separated by 8 pins. So really close there. Some names to note that came up short in that morning squad. Benjamin Martinez, a really talented young PBA player, shot 168 his last game to miss by 12 pins. Zach Newman came up short, 816. Scotty Kramer, -8. Corey Hersha, -19. So some really talented players came up short. Trent Marner really struggled after getting off to a really good start. He struggled his last 2 games. He was right there into the cut number. So what'd they say? Some days you're the hammer, some days you're the nail. Is that how it goes?
Sometimes that probably sounds a little too easy, but you know.
Well, I'm dying to know. We're going to turn up his microphone. All right, give us a review of the brown butter sourdough toffee chip cookie.
They're delicious.
Yeah, well, they're
delicious.
Well,
highly recommend. 10 out of 10.
Hey, he's a cookie connoisseur, Mike. Tammy's going to be ecstatic to know that.
I'm going to take my time on the other 2, though. We're here for a few more hours, so maybe I do one each round.
Well, how many cookies are in here? Do we have that many rounds?
Well, there's 3 kinds.
Oh, there's 3 kinds.
Yeah,
okay.
there's 3 kinds.
I didn't know if you were just going to do
eat all.
Maybe a cookie a game is what
there you go.
That would take probably all of them.
Now, we're trying to figure out how do you stay so thin, Mike? If Tammy's making all this goods, I mean,
I kind of spread out the cookies. Same way I have with Chad. You got to spread them out.
Well, as I made a comment, I believe we talked a little bit about this at the Senior Masters too, and pastries, that kind of thing is that's one of my favorite things there is.
What's tough with the smells? The smells, when Tammy starts baking in that, wow.
Yeah. Yeah, no.
Put that in a candle.
You think?
Well, exactly. Yeah,
you
that's
think
right.
cookies are bad? You should see how I am with a donut.
Oh yeah.
It's hard to stay away from a donut.
I heard there's a guy bowling in here somewhere that's I've heard has a hard time staying away from the donuts. You know him quite well too, don't you, Mike?
I might.
Oh,
yeah.
Aaron
McCormick.
Yeah, he's always hitting up that 2 guys in Brookston.
Yeah,
but it's
from.
delicious.
Yeah,
donuts.
see
Those
that
are delicious donuts.
Are they?
Yeah, they're really good. Yeah. Got to give 2 guys.
They have good breakfast too. Really good
nice.
breakfast. Yeah.
I didn't. Yeah.
On weekends.
I don't get past the donuts at 2 guys.
Yeah. Yeah, we went there last week and had a donut and then
Then had breakfast.
pancakes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He
I'll
felt guilty.
I'll think of that when I come up next time on the weekend.
He felt guilty. Oh, okay, I'll have a breakfast sandwich.
Their breakfast bowls are really good. I mean,
Well,
it's
you know,
delicious.
I marvel because
Well,
Aaron.
you're starting to name the menu off here, so I didn't know.
Well, Aaron will post on social
He does,
media
yes.
about he went to Two Guys. Well, it's just him and his wife.
Yeah.
And there's like 12 donuts in the box.
Yeah, he'll buy a dozen.
And it's like what?
Well, there's 7 days in a week.
Oh, is there that many? They do heat up nicely though.
They do.
But see, I'm the jelly filled.
Oh,
John Verbiage just posted into. Yeah, he's a cop.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna make any cop references.
John, you're not gonna be able to run him off now because you're got that knee all in a brace. So you're in trouble. You better stay away from them donuts. So, oh, we just poke fun though.
Yeah.
Aaron, he's been on a good run here. Just came
he's
up,
bowling well. He's throwing the
came
ball
in
very,
second
very well.
at the Senior Masters, yeah, and really great start here for him here at the Scratch Classic. So Aaron's game is rounding into form here.
Yeah, he's very solid. Bowling great. One of the nice guys.
Yeah, really is.
Wow, that's a hit we've seen quite a bit right there. That 3, 4, 6, 7. Not one of those. It's makeable for sure. We saw it made, but it's one of those you don't want to leave.
Yeah, and it's just so when you're trying to make up ground, Dallas starting out with an open and gets a strike spare, and then you come back and now you're looking at another open frame.
Well, and this is, the guys come down here to this pair, and the second game, they're not getting practice balls. So the first game was you guys that had 10 minutes of practice or whatever the number was, but there was practice. No more practice.
Yeah, you're coming off your pair, and you're going right into the second round.
Let your ball be your guide.
Well, they got to come back into the tournament office, draw for their starting pairs, and so I'm assuming we're going to be using 20 on down this way here in this next round. And but again, we're so lucky because 5 and 6, the championship pair has been such a great scoring pair in all the qualifying rounds of this event. We've seen some huge numbers on this pair, so I'm really excited to see what happens here in our championship match. And that's the fun thing I like about this event. In most events you have it's one-on-one, but now we have 4 guys, and they're going to bowl 2 games each, and we're going to see who wins. And that's why I think this can be one of the most exciting events of the bowling calendar. And the last couple of years it has delivered.
Yeah, it's a great format.
All right, Mark Pruitt, he just can't get any carry. This is his second 10 pin that he's left.
Beautiful shot, solid 10.
He's got the strike sandwiched in the middle there. Now Ryan Schlosser clean as well. He's 9 spared him to death, just like Mark Pruitt has. Jimmy Cook just off to our right too, and looking at his. Looks like he's got open double spare strike, looking to double again here on lane 23. He's won this event twice. He has no problem coming to your center, Mike.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Jimmy's one of the good ones.
Oh,
great player.
Good break there, getting the 8 pin to fall out. Just has the 2-4. Great shot by Ryan Schlosser.
Very nice.
Was giving TJ Schmidt a hard time. TJ, the 2022 champion, he has also won both the Scratch Classic and the Masters. He was unable to make it this year. Your daddy duties.
Oh, that will happen, yeah.
When the daughters got the cheer competition, dad duties take
not
over,
a tough
right?
choice for that.
Yeah. He hates missing the Scratch Classic, and he's done so well in this event himself. And Nick Squires.
Wow, beautiful shot. What good solid ball speed. A little more direct, but great shot.
Yeah, that's open 4-bagger now for Nick. Billy Hibbard with a strike over there.
Yeah, that'll work.
Yeah, he's got a nice clean game going. Strike spare, 3-bagger spare strike through 7.
Beautiful shot.
Dallas here needing to get something positive going here. The frames are running out. You're already getting into the 6th frame here. Well, when you're struggling, Mike, frames go by in such a hurry.
Yeah, they really do, and yeah, when it's tough, when you need to start striking too, and then it's a difficult one. You got to find a way to just make good shots and get that ball to start carrying for you a bit. But that one was close. You know, even though it almost left a 4-6, I mean, it was close. Just the entry into the pocket was very sharp.
All right. Chad was able to secure some scoring here for us. And leading the way was Jacob Lewis at 248, Brent Boho 241, Lucas Francis 237, Tim Logan, who was on our pair, at 234, Joey Price 231, Benjamin Sobel 225, Tyler Knight 225, Jacob Balser 217, along with Joseph Dominguez at 217, and then Nick Squires, Billy Hibbert at 215, Michael Cottrell 214, Gabe Castro 211, Ryan Plummer 210, Dakota Solanka 207, Jeff Harris 205, Corbin Snow 203, and Dallas Brawley. That's why he's really getting a little antsy here. Yeah. He was the last guy in the cut at 200. Zach Weidman at -11. He's going to have a big game. Ryan Spear 193, Jimmy Cook 193. So some guys, some big names struggling here that were
Zach
way
Weedman's
up.
Down there too.
Yeah, Zach -11.
Aaron McCormick.
And McCormick -16. And so some guys really needing to throw some strikes. Right now you're thinking 200. Anybody right there, Evan Gents at 181. He's still in there, only 20 pins out. So this is when it gets
well, a lot of back and it's easy to go up and it's easy to go back. You know, it's just one frame can change a lot down there.
And Jimmy Cook leaving just looks like the 4-pin. Now Nick Squires, spare conversion, gets it. Nick right now, he's not comfortably in, but he's in really good shape right now. And he just needs to continue to fill frames here.
That pocket, just keep hitting the pocket.
Ryan coming in high, leaving the 6-pin. Ryan is one of those who's, I believe, just on the outside. Yeah, he's 188, so he's probably thinking he needs to shoot, a good 2-team game.
Yeah, just, I mean, it could go down a little bit, but then again, that's one of those things you don't want to be sitting there waiting.
Well, if he's marks out, he's at a 2-0 pace, so he's going to have to throw another double or two in there to get himself into that number. Of course, right now, Dallas Brawley, the number at even, shot 200 on the nose game 1, and he is in big trouble.
Yeah, he can strike out for another 200, it looks like. Oh,
Nick with really piping it.
Yeah, a lot of ball speed there.
Looks like he's throwing a pearl, so he's doesn't want it to see too much too quick, but the way he's throwing it, that ball is it's going to have a hard time reading when he does miss.
Yeah, a little away, and it's away.
Yes. Big shot here for Mark Pruitt. He's 189 game 1. Can he continue the string? Oh, great
labels
shot.
That. Yeah, great shot. Very nice. So he's right in the thick of things now.
Not an easy spare here for Nick. Oh, great cover.
Yeah, good shot.
A couple of these guys, Mark, Ryan, they're bowling one another as well because they're tied with each other, so they're still kind of bowling. They're trying to beat each other here because you're only going to get 18 guys in out of.
Yeah, you definitely want to be the number one guy on your pair.
37 bowling, so you're trying to get in the number, but you're also trying to beat the other guy.
Oh.
Great shot by Ryan.
Good one.
Ryan driving all the way up from Evansville, but he's got family here in town, so always nice to be able to visit the in-laws. And Dallas, he's so confused, right?
Yeah, just not able to find the right look.
He's
higher light.
Yep.
Higher light. Yep. That's a bad situation to be in. That happens.
Is that telling you probably have the wrong ball in your hand for this pair?
Well, or you're in the wrong spot in the lane. It looks like he's probably in the right part of the lane compared to what everybody else is doing. But, yeah, he needs to change his angle a little bit. But he's at the point now where it's, you're going to have to strike out and hope you get lucky. And sometimes you get lulled into it. You think you're close and then you just can't make the right move, and then the game's almost over. It is over, and it's too late. That's why it's so important to know your physical game, to know that you're throwing it correctly so you can make good adjustments off of it.
Oh, great shot by Nick.
That was very nice.
Well, when he keeps it on line.
Pins were jumping off the lanes there. They were.
There's a lot of power and speed in that release. Oh, wow. Mark Pruitt keeps it going. I always call guys like Mark, what he's doing right now, he's the spoiler. He's about to ruin it for somebody else, right?
Yeah.
When they're out of the cut and they find themselves back in or into the cut. So,
him and Nick Squires both are same part of the lane, a lot of ball speed, and they're both having success, especially on this pair.
Well, now the money frames are coming, Mike, 9th and 10th.
And Ryan's in a little deeper and a little softer with it. A little more loft, though.
He never moved, but you knew that. Oh, my goodness.
And it reveals excellence. Yes, that works. We'll take that.
I'm guessing that went crossover.
Yeah, and sometimes when you use the extra loft, it's easy to hit up on it, which makes it just double time on the back anyway. But, yeah, good break. Looks like he probably was in the right part of the lane for himself there, and just the ball broke loose. But, man, got a good break.
Yeah, it was mystery bowling.
That's a double.
There.
Yeah, that's a double.
He's got 238 out there. And it's pretty much all but over now for Dallas, unfortunately for him. And best he can do is 178. Oh, power.
Yeah, power to burn there. And that's a double as well.
You don't ever have to worry about that thumb sweating when you don't put it in the ball, do you?
No. I would be afraid my fingers would stay in it and I'd break my arm. If I even get to the foul line with it.
All right, can Mark keep up the momentum? He was on the outside looking in here, but 4-bagger. Can he make it 5?
Uh-oh, that's right.
Oh, okay. Hey.
Makeable. Makeable.
Absolutely.
He could have had a bigger screen. He had those solid 10s he left prior.
He still has 220 out there. Even a little more than that. He could still go 230 with a spare and a double. And Dallas, he just can't get a break on this spare. He makes a ball change, Mike. Throws a great shot, 10-pin. Oh, those are the days where you just can't wait to get out of the building.
That's exactly right.
Oh, my goodness.
Did not need that.
Mike, that's one where you kind of relax a little too much. And
yeah, that's a tough one.
Now you're threatening to go 2-0 with just a spare and a strike. And he's got 215 if he at least marks. And he's already minus 11, so that's plus 4. I don't know if that'll be enough or not.
Yep, sweat territory there.
Yeah. Oh, great shot by Ryan.
Yeah.
He's in the 220s.
Yeah, that's a great shot.
Now you're thinking, get this one and then just guarantee yourself in there. I was waiting for no matter where Dallas's ball hit the pins, he was going to strike. That's one of those where
that's all you need to see, right? Yeah. Get a little loose and you're already out of it, and then everything falls.
Yeah, feel for him. You've had those games where you just, no matter what, you just couldn't get anything to work. That was kind of like me for the Senior Masters a couple of weeks ago. No matter where I played or what ball I threw, I could hit the pocket, but I couldn't get it to carry or do it consecutively. Another great shot. 238 with a strike there. That would put Ryan at plus 26. Ooh.
I would say he's in. I mean, that's a big jump, but, yeah, you never know.
And that, for Mark Pruitt, boy, now you got to make this spare, and now you're just hoping plus 4. Plus 15, 16, you're probably thinking you're pretty good.
Yeah.
Whoa!
Wow.
That pin slid across the bottom a long way.
Yeah, it was sliding on the bottom.
All right, now you're thinking I got to get all of them here. You just don't want to give any more pins away. With a strike, he would be plus 4. You like plus 15 a lot better if he marks in the ninth, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, yeah. Nick is in easily now.
8-pin kind of danced off there, but that was a great shot.
Yeah, he's going to be in the plus 50s with another strike.
Yeah, no worries on that.
All right, plus 3. Will
hope that one pin wasn't one he needed.
Oh, and especially when it's the head pin plus the 2.
Yeah.
You just hit that head pin square, and you make that 99 times out of 100. You just didn't hit it square enough.
Wow, power.
See ya, 10-pin.
Yeah, great shot.
Well, there's a strike here, and he'll be plus 58. So he's in the 50s right now. These guys made this pair look a lot easier than the previous. Tim Logan made it look pretty good. And nice, 243 there. That's 458 for Nick Squires. So now we're just going to wait for the final results. That's all the bowling that you'll see on our coverage here. Unfortunately, we only have one camera down here, but the next round, the bowlers will move left, and you'll see more action right here on Savage Bowling TV. And the Indiana Scratch Classic is brought to you by Pinhead's Entertainment Center. They have it all: bowling, games, birthday parties, corporate events, and private suites. Go to bowl@pinheads.com. And Tim Mack's Victory Lane Pro Shops. Don't settle for anything less than victory. Locations inside Royal Penn Woodland, Western, and Expo in Indianapolis. And Championship Lanes. Enjoy bowling, games, great food at the premier Family Fun Time Center in Anderson. No matter the occasion, an outing at Championship Lanes is sure to be fun. Also, want to give you some more information on the upcoming releases here by the Brands of Brunswick, coming out here on November 21st, a highly anticipated ball from Ebonite, the Real Time. Raise your game with the Ebonite Real Time, designed for bowlers who are looking for a sharp break point. This mid-performance ball combines looks with cutting-edge technology to maximize your scores without breaking the bank. For more details, go to ebonitebowling.com. And the Deviate Heckler. Get ready to revolutionize your game with the Deviate Bowling Heckler. Deviate's groundbreaking leap into asymmetric technology for the world of no-thumb bowling. For more details, go to deviatebowling.com. So a lot of great balls coming out here for the Umbrella of Brunswick. We have more information here coming up on track and Columbia 300, bringing back a ball from the past. And we see that a lot from these manufacturers, and of course, us older bowlers all know about the old balls. It's these young kids that don't know what, Of course, you're not probably in your heyday. You're probably not going to see Black Beauties come back anytime soon.
I remember hearing tales of those, but
Remember you always hear horror stories about.
they had 2 fingers. All you used was 2 fingers back then.
You hear horror stories about old pro shop guys saying they'd have to come back in and plug a rubber ball and then and it would just be the worst thing. You'd have to resurface the smell and
Yep.
oh, those good old
And
days.
then a storm came along and they were all scented.
Yeah, now they smell great, right?
Yep.
All right, we're going to take a quick timeout. That's basically round 1 is wrapping up. And we'll come back with scores and round number 2. You're watching the Indiana Scratch Classic from Mike Aulby's Arrowhead Bowl in Lafayette right here on Savage Bowling TV.